And we are live. Okay, just wait a little bit of minutes. So, hi everyone and welcome to the Online Girl Boss TV. I'm Silvia Galati and today we will talk about how to create a successful business online from scratch. Today I'm so excited because I have a very special guest that is Carolina Millan. Hi Carolina, how are you?
Hi, Silvia. I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm fine. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for your time. I know that you are really busy, so I'm really happy to have you here today. So,
No
Carolina.
problem. My pleasure.
Oh, thank you so much. So, I follow you on social media. You know that I'm a huge fan of you. I have the pleasure to meet you last year in Dallas, last March also in Orlando at Funnel Hacking Live. I really take inspiration from you while I'm creating my business online. So I'm really happy to be here with you today. For all my audience, Carolina Millan started his business online 9 years ago, right?
2000, well, almost 10 now.
Almost 10, okay.
Yeah, end of 2008, I started my first little thing, I would say.
Okay, so you built a great community around the world. You speak on the stage. You have received the Two Comma Club awards of Russell Brunson. You help people around the world to create their dream life. So you are amazing. I really love that.
Thank you so much. I sometimes I don't realize that I've done all those things. So yeah, it's been great.
So Carolina, the first question that usually I ask during my interviews is talk about a little bit of your story. How did you started? You were an employee like me, so we have some things in common. So talk about you to me, to my audience.
Yeah, of course. So yeah, it was 10 years ago. I was at my first job and I had just graduated from university. I went to university and I studied business management here in Chile.
Okay.
And I never really, it was never a dream of mine to be independent. I mean, at least I didn't know that it was a dream. Then I discovered that I wanted it. But I thought a job was it. That okay, I will go to university, get a job, and hopefully I can stay a few years in that job and another job and get a promotion. You know, the usual.
Yeah.
And then when I was at my job, which was in human resources, which was a great experience because it taught me a lot about people. That even though I went to university to study business management and I did study human resources, it was nothing compared to the real world, like absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
It was really like the theory.
Yeah.
Completely different. So it was like starting from scratch really for me. And I loved it because I got to meet a lot of people from all over the world. It was an international company here in Chile. It was a great experience, young company, exciting, everything. But there was something missing, which was my freedom. And I was saying this in another interview recently that because of my job, really, I missed a few opportunities that really opened my eyes, that made me realize, okay, I need to be free. I just cannot be asking for permission all the time.
Yeah.
And I remember getting on Twitter, it was around November 2008. That was the first social media that I started really using for business because I wanted to establish myself as an expert. I wanted to build a personal brand. And that's why I got on Twitter. And the first attempt at business that I had was with a multi-level marketing company. And that didn't go very well. I had no experience. I knew nothing about selling. I didn't like the product. It was like some gel products that you had to eat, like vitamins, to lose weight, and it just wasn't fun. But it was the experience. It was because of that multi-level marketing company that I got on Google and I discovered attraction marketing and I discovered personal branding and I discovered all these things that were completely new to me after 5 years in university where I learned nothing about that. It's crazy. So it took me about 2 years to quit my job, and it was not because the multi-level marketing company did well. I think I recruited 2 people in 2 years.
Ah,
and then
good.
I quit. But again, that experience, I'm super grateful for that experience because it made me realize how important freedom was for me.
Yeah.
It made me discover social media and all of these new concepts, all of these gurus, all of these people. I started teaching myself all of this. And that brought me opportunities here in Chile where I started getting invited to events. I started getting invited to speak. I got interviewed by different newspapers over here because I was gaining a lot of traction on Twitter specifically.
Okay.
And it was brand new over here. No, there were no celebrities. Nobody was using it. So it wasn't that hard to stand out. And I was able to quit my job because people saw me on Twitter and they said, looks like this girl knows her thing with social media. Maybe she can help me with my business. And I had a couple of local clients here in Chile that I was helping with their Twitter and Facebook strategy. So that's how I quit my job. And that's kind of the beginning of the story. And then I just, it's been really a very long journey, but so much has happened. I'm so grateful for all the people I've been able to meet. It's been a roller coaster. There were so many times where I thought, oh my God, I'm going to have to get a job again because I don't know if I'm going to get a client next month and so on. So it's been really great. From there, I've been, mostly going up and learning, and it's been amazing.
Yeah, congratulations. I really love your story. And you inspire me. I love the fact that you inspire people. This is important more than money and so on. You help other people, you inspire other people. So it's great. So you have built different businesses starting from zero. And you engage your audience using different tools or channels. And one of these is the vlog. I really love your vlog. You have recorded like almost 200 episodes, right? At least.
Yeah, I'm getting close.
Yeah, that's great. So I want to create the Online Girl Boss blog too, but I don't know absolutely where to start, how to create the content. I don't know, you have maybe an editorial plan. How do you create your own topic? You choose the topic, the content, and so on. So please, can you share with me and my audience some tips and strategies to start a successful blog like yours?
Of course. Well, first of all, I have been advised by a few people to actually have an editorial line, like, okay, you should plan all the episodes. But it just doesn't go with me. I like being spontaneous. So that's probably costing me views. Maybe if I planned it a lot more, I would probably get more views, but I don't want to sacrifice authenticity for views. So I'm not going to have a storyline. And now there's a difference, of course, between vlogging, which is, documenting your day-to-day life and so on. And then, of course, there are other types of videos that I do where I do plan what I'm going to say, of course. So that's what I call my regular videos. Like that's when I talk to my video editor, I tell him, okay, there's a new vlog uploaded and there's a new regular video. And so he knows what I mean. So it's basically, there are videos where I sit down and I write a few bullet points, or I at least know the title of the topic I'm going to talk about. Then I turn on the camera and I talk about the topic. And I know there has to be a call to action at the end, whether the call to action is to get people to subscribe, to leave a comment, ask them a question, and so on. And I always try for those videos to not be too long. So usually maybe 5 minutes maximum. I discovered that the shorter they are, the more views they get, because when people are on YouTube, right, they like watching longer videos than Facebook or Instagram. It makes sense. They're there to watch videos. They're not there to do anything else. Like on Facebook, you're there to do other things. So you're not going to spend an hour watching something unless you're very interested. But on YouTube, people will take longer. But I've noticed that the shorter the videos, the better. And so with the videos where I talk about a specific topic, okay, I'm going to talk about mindset today, or I'm going to talk about failure, or I'm going to talk about challenges or money or whatever. I am clear on that topic, so you have to be clear on that. And then I never really have a script, like I said, just a few bullet points so that you know what you're going to say and you're not thinking, right?
Okay.
So you have to be very confident in front of the camera and you know, really let people know that you know what you're talking about. So only talk about things you know. I will never talk about something that I don't know. And if there's something I don't know and I want to make a video about it, I'll invite an expert or I'll do an interview with that person.
Yeah, sure.
So that is what you're doing now with this. You're doing great with this, with your show. I saw that you have interviewed a few people. Actually, let me just share it on my profile. Give me just a second.
Thank you so much.
Let me just share it in my group. So that is one thing. I am very spontaneous, but I know for some people they need to have a script. Like, everybody's different. So whatever works for you, where it looks natural, go with that. And for vlogs, I usually do it more when I travel because I have more things to document than me sitting at my desk. For example, right now it's really dark here. I had to open the curtains because it's winter, so I'm not going outside very much. It's raining, right? So so I'm not doing a lot of vlogging right now.
Yeah, it's not exciting.
Exactly. So I'm doing more of my other videos where, okay, what am I going to talk about today? And you pick one topic. Another thing I tell people is, okay, if you're stuck and you don't know what to talk about, talk about something you learned from someone else, or maybe read a book and share a chapter from that book. And at the beginning of the video, just quote the book, you know, give credit to whatever you got the idea, and then just give your thought. Like, there's so much inspiration out there, so many things that you can make videos of.
Yeah, value that you share with other people. Absolutely.
Yeah, you should never run out of ideas. Like, for me, the only thing, if I ever don't have an idea, it's just because maybe I'm not feeling very well or something happened. But if I'm in the mood, I can make 5, 6, 10 videos in a day, because there's just so much to talk about, and people want it. Like, I get really good feedback from people. So I'm sure if you plan your day, and every day you have, you know, you carry with you a notebook or something, and you think of ideas. Oh, I could make a video about this. You write it down in a notebook, and then you go and make the video. You don't have to make it immediately. You can just do it later. So I hope that helps.
Yeah, sure. And you were a shy girl, right? You don't like to record videos and so on. So
yes,
anyone can do it.
Anyone can do it. I mean, if you go on my YouTube channel, there are some really old videos from like 2010 or 2011 of me talking about a book that I read, and I have a big whiteboard now in my office, but back then I had a whiteboard that was like this big.
Yeah.
Little whiteboard, and I have a video of me holding the whiteboard like this and just writing on it. And that's one of my first. It's in Spanish though, but you speak Italian, so maybe you'll understand Spanish.
Yeah, a little bit.
It's terrible. It's a really bad video, but I keep it there because I want to inspire people, so they see, oh wow, that's where she started. Now she has a bigger whiteboard. So
yeah, I know.
Really, all you need really to make videos is you need good lighting, and as long as it's natural light, you don't even need to buy fancy equipment. You don't need a fancy camera. If you have a good smartphone camera.
Can I ask you, what do you use as a camera and other?
Yes, I have them here. Actually,
that's good.
This is like my fancy camera that I got, which is a Lumix GH5.
Okay.
I got this camera like 4 months ago or something. I used to have a Canon 70D. This is a semi-professional camera. I paid with the lens. I paid like $2,800 or something. So it's a good one. And for my vlogs, like my daily videos, I use this one, which is the Canon G7X.
Okay.
And this one is amazing. It's a great camera. It's like $500 or something. And I have, with a little selfie tripod. And those are the two main cameras. And then sometimes I'll just use my iPhone And then for microphone, I have this one, which is a Rode microphone, and then I have a clip-on microphone. I don't have it right here, but it's a wireless clip-on microphone.
Okay.
But you don't need those things to start, like really just your smartphone, and even the iPhone, with the little, it has this microphone here. That's what you're using? That's what I'm using?
Yeah, sure. You can start with an iPhone and so on. Just start. The first step.
Yeah, just start. That's right.
There is one person that say, "Hi, Carolina, you are superstar video." So
thank you.
So another thing that you do is the podcast. Beyond the Hustle is the name, right?
Beyond the Hustle, yes.
Okay, so maybe who don't like to record video can use the podcast to engage your audience. So can you share with us also here some tips and strategies that we can use to create a successful podcast?
Of course. There's actually on my YouTube channel, I created a 40-minute tutorial. So if you look up podcast tutorial and my name, Carolina Millan, you'll find the free tutorial I put on YouTube. But for podcasting, really, here's the thing with podcasting, I postponed it for like 2 years, really. Since I said to myself, okay, I'm going to do a podcast like 2.5 years ago, until I finally did it. Because I thought it was complicated, and I was overcomplicating it. I thought it was a rocket science. How do you get iTunes to upload your podcast? How do they allow you? Maybe only a few people, selected people, are allowed to have their podcast on iTunes. And how do you get it on Spotify? That's impossible. I'm never gonna do it. So I kept pushing it. Yeah. And then one day I was like, okay, enough is enough. I have to do this. And that was one of my goals by the end of 2017. That was one of my 2018 goals. So at the end of January of 2018, I finally did it. And I had a lot of interviews already that I could use, that I was doing for my YouTube channel with Grant Cardone, with Gary Vaynerchuk, and a few other people. And finally, I did it. I looked up a few tutorials. Actually, something that really helped me was Digital Marketers podcast program. I don't know, it was like $10 or something. I don't know, it was really cheap. But it was really helpful, because then I realized it wasn't that difficult. Of course, there are a lot of things you can do to improve the SEO and stuff like that. I'm not doing any SEO for it right now because I figured, I just have to start. And I started recording. At the beginning, my first few episodes, I was just using my iPhone microphone. And then I got a fancier one, which is this one, the Yeti, Blue Yeti something. Right?
Okay, I love it.
You don't need that to start. Just don't need it. This is good enough.
Start.
Yeah, and there are several websites where they're like podcasting hosting, so to speak, where you upload your episode and then you select where do you want it to be published: iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, etc. And then you don't have to go on each platform and figure out how to get your podcast there. You just get on this podcasting hosting. The one I use is called Libsyn, Libsyn, LIBSYN.com, and I pay like $20 a month. That's like one of the basic plans. And I can upload up to 400 megabytes of audio per month, which is more than enough. I'm only uploading like an episode per week, sometimes less, and that's enough. And then from there, you select where you want it to go, and you follow they also have really great tutorials teaching you how to get it approved on iTunes, how to get it approved on Spotify, and so on. And now I started with iTunes because I thought that would be the best or the hardest to get in. And now it's on everywhere: SoundCloud, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Google Play.
That's great.
Yeah, so you can find me everywhere now.
Everywhere.
Yes, and really and it's free. And the thing is, a lot of people think that they have to do interviews and stuff. It's not necessary. I love doing interviews, and of course, it helps your branding. When you have, when people see, oh my God, you have an interview with Russell Brunson or with, Gary Vaynerchuk. How did you do it? So yeah, there's a story behind how I did it, right? But you can start on your own. I have a few episodes where it's just me talking to the microphone and just get some traction like that. And if you can get a few interviews, they don't have to be superstars, like you're interviewing me. I'm not Grant Cardone or something like that, right?
But for me, you are a superstar.
Thank you. But just find people that you admire that have done something remarkable at whatever level. And most people are going to be so happy to be in your podcast. I mean, for me to get Gary or Grant Cardone, I had to hustle really hard, email a lot, insist a lot. It was very, very persistent. It was not easy to get them. So start with something a little easier, start with people in your industry, friends who have done something that you admire and that you think people will get inspired by listening.
Yeah. I love too, because I love to do interview, because I don't like to do, like, for example, on Facebook, live videos by myself, because I'm scared. But with the interviews, I can share the video with other people, share a lot of value, and growing at the same time my brand and so on. So I really love that. And I can start my podcast, so I can use all the interviews that I have made until now to start my podcast. So great. Thanks for the advice.
That's actually how I do it. I do video interviews with everybody, or with at least with everybody that will allow me to do a video interview. Some people don't want to do video. That's okay. And then I repurpose that content. It goes on YouTube. It goes on the podcast. You extract the audio. Use a software called Adobe Audition to edit the episodes. I haven't outsourced it yet because I have like 2 episodes a month. It's not worth outsourcing it. So you can do it yourself. Adobe Audition is like $19 a month, I think, the Adobe subscription. And there's probably a free option somewhere, whatever. And I also get my video editor to make short clips. So he edits the full interview, and then he takes 1-minute clips from the interviews, and we put those on Instagram.
Okay.
So from one interview, like from this interview, you can get a podcast episode, you can get a YouTube video, Facebook video, and Instagram video. So that's the smartest way to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. And last week I was live with Peng Jung, the guy from Malaysia, and he used the same structure to create a video, and then from the video you can use it for example, for a blog or for a Facebook post and so on. So you start from one thing, and then you can use it in all of your channel for to attract your audience, and you minimize the effort. You just record a video, and then you do all the stuff later based on this video for all the channels. So it's great.
Yes, exactly.
So another thing that you do is you follow people on one-on-one coaching, right? So you help them to create their dream life, but in the reality, you help them to create their business online. So you are for them a mentor. So a mentor in the online business is really important for me. For example, I had Shakir Hussain, one of my mentors, you know him. And he helped me a lot to create my business, to scale my business, and so on, to keep in track my business. So what I want to ask you is, why is so important to create these small events for your clients to help them to grow their business, and how can grab an advantage on these events that you made for them?
Yes. So there are two ways that I like, well, 3 ways in which I enjoy helping people. One is online. I do a lot of online coaching with people. We just sit on Skype one-on-one, and I guide them through everything, building their social media presence, their Facebook advertising campaigns, their sales funnels, and stuff like that. And then I also enjoy doing like small workshops or masterminds. And I've done, to date, I think I've done 3 or 4 between 2017 in 2016. Actually, this year I didn't do one yet. I've been lazy.
I will do my first one on August in Dubai, so I'm really excited.
Excellent. Awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah, I love doing live events. I love doing small events. I'm hoping to do maybe a bigger event next year or at the end of this year. But I feel like the best way to work with people is in person, because many times, and it really depends on the person, because sometimes when I'm working online with someone, there's so many things that are hard to explain when you're not sitting there next to the person. So it can be challenging to do online coaching, but it's totally possible with the technology that we have today.
Yeah.
But hosting small events, that's something I really enjoy, and it's really fun. People always give so much positive feedback, and it's just testimonials, and so it's really great. And I think everybody who enjoys working with people should include events and workshops in their services, because people love it, they benefit a lot, and of course you can make a good income like that. But as long as you're adding value to people and they're getting value from you, that's what counts the most, I think. So yeah.
That's great. So I have a question for you from, I'm sorry, I don't know your Navoit. I hope that is the right name. Which software or iPhone app you use for video editing?
Video editing, yes. For video editing, well, like I said, I have a video editor. Like I have someone who edits for me now. But when I used to edit my videos, I was using iMovie. Like I didn't want to overcomplicate myself. iMovie comes with your Mac, and also for the iPhone. I don't know if it's free or not on the iPhone. Probably not. But for me, it was the best app. It was at the beginning, it was not that easy to figure out. I will say it was not the most user friendly, but it does the job. It really, you don't need anything else. There are a lot of other advanced tools that people use, like advanced editors will use Adobe, or what's the other one? Final Cut, After Effects. There are quite a few, but if you're editing your own videos, and editing video is not your source of income, like you don't make money editing videos, you just edit them for yourself. You don't want to spend too much time on that.
Yeah, sure.
So I think I lost you. I don't see you. Can you still hear me?
I'm here. Yeah. Can you
I don't see your image anymore.
Okay.
I don't know what happened.
Okay.
Am I offline?
No, you are online too. Carolina?
Yes, I'm still here.
Okay.
Are you still here?
Okay, perfect.
Okay. I don't know what happened.
Okay. Don't worry. I don't know. Probably the connection.
The connection. I don't know if it was mine. Okay, so I was saying, yeah, so video editing, don't spend too much time on it. You should, if you're going to do a lot of video like I do, I'm trying to upload every day. When I'm traveling, it's a little challenging sometimes. Sometimes you just don't get good internet connection, but every day I had to hire somebody. I couldn't do it myself anymore. But if you're going to upload one video per week or something, you can do it yourself. You can use iMovie, and that's it. Like, really don't overcomplicate it.
Oh, that's right. So last question for you, because I know that you are so busy.
Oh, that's okay.
What's the secret of your success that you want to share with us?
I don't know if it's a secret, but I think one of the main things that has helped me through the years has been being persistent, where you don't give up. Like you don't, if something doesn't work out, you don't dwell on it. You move on. You continue your journey. Or if something didn't work, you try something else. And I think that's what helped me, because if I hadn't been persistent, I would have quit when my MLM company in 2009 was not working. I could have said, this doesn't work, and just go back to my job. But since that MLM didn't work, I kept searching. I found affiliate marketing. I found, I discovered that I could do my own things. I discovered that I could be an affiliate for the software that I was using. I discovered I could coach people with what I knew. There's so many things out there that you can do, that if one doesn't work or stops working, if you give up on that, that's that you're never going to achieve success. So that's one of the things, being persistent. And the other thing is adding value, just figuring out, how can I add more value to people? How can I help them before I even try to sell them anything? And that's also Frank Kern's secret. That's why his free content is so good, because his entire strategy is to help people so much for free, so that then selling them something becomes so easy, because you already helped them so much for free. So that's it. That's the secret. There are a lot of people that hide, or they try to avoid giving too much value, because they're afraid that, nobody's going to buy from me if I teach them everything for free. So there is a fine line. There are a few things you want to keep for your paying customers, of course, but don't be afraid to share what you know and your experiences, because a lot of people will be so grateful, and even if they don't buy from you directly, they will recommend you to someone else. And all the time I get people who reach out to me who say, "Oh, so and so recommended you." I'm like, but who is that person? that person is not even a client of mine, but they got value from me somewhere and they recommend me. So that's it. Persistency and value before you try to sell anything. Just give as much value as you can.
Okay, thank you so much. I really love that. I really love to help other people like you, because this is the most important thing. That then, of course, we have to say absolutely, but first, to help people to create their dream life, to find freedom and so on, is the key point in all our businesses, right?
That's right. Yes.
So I really appreciate the interview. Thank you so much, Carolina. Thank you for the
pleasure.
Share with us. I will start the blog soon and the podcast too.
Yes.
Thanks to your advices. So thank you so much. Thank you so much, guys. I hope you enjoyed this interview, and we'll see in the next one. So thank you, Carolina. Thank you so much. Bye. See you soon.
You're welcome. Bye.
Thank you. Bye. Thank you.